Greetings! Experiment. This is something I've never done before, but I figured, you know what? I love this park so much and I'm missing human contact. It's practically empty today. Maltese rules, if I'm having a beverage, I don't need to wear a mask. So I'm outside. I just pour coffee on my thumb. There's one question I get asked all the time, probably more than any other question I could ever imagine being asked. Just basically tell me what to buy. I get that a lot. And normally it's, I'm looking for a amp, guitar, pedal. People want to use me as a buying guide because for the last 11 years, for my sins, I have made demonstrations of guitar product. That's what I've done. Anyway, I had an idea. Call me Crazy Chappers. Today, we're going to be doing Chappers helps you buy an amp. I am amphibians. Andertons. I'm going to be going to Andertons because I love Lee and the guys, and I've known them for years and years and years. And I thought what I'd do is take you through almost as if I'm like a personal shopping assistant at your disposal. And I hope I can help you. And I will give you my recommendations for what I think you would want to purchase at different brands right now. 2021, let's start with Marshall. So, and I hope this is fun, informative, and in any way relaxing. If you can hear the sound like someone's taking a massive piss, it's the fountain about 150 meters away from me, really enjoying itself. So, I might from time to time have to blur the screen as I get text messages from some of my friends who, as everyone does, text either inappropriate things or business sensitive things. In my instance, business sensitive things. So we're at Andertons. Let's take a look. I love Marshall, and in particular right now there's one amp that in America you'd say you're jonesing for. I've got major gas for it, and it is, where are you beauty? Well, here we go. Yes, 20 watt valve head DSL, dual super lead. You'll all know what a dual super lead is. Marshall make these 1 watt and 20 watt versions, and they look so cool. And I saw Ola did a demo of this 20 watt one. Man, it's sweet, and it's got reverb built in next to the resonance knob, which we all love as well. And for my money, I think this looks like an amazing entry point into what I would classify as a real Marshall. So, I mean, look at that. 400 quid. I mean, you got to bear in mind that's including the slice that the Queen takes. Is there shipping? There probably, yeah, there's, free UK delivery. So that's $3.99 if you live in the UK. Obviously, you could buy this from anywhere in Europe, and Andertons would ship it. I'm going to revert that. I'm not sure if they can now. I don't know. Post-Brexit, I have no idea how that works. I know there have been some serious issues with Thomann delivering to the UK, but hopefully that's all resolved soon, and everything's hunky-dory. Anyway, yeah, dual super lead, great amp. I've only played the big boy dual super leads, and they've all sounded brilliant. At the back, you'll notice there's all sorts of holes for putting exciting things in, so speakers, for example. But there's also an effects loop, and for my money, $3.99 effects loop, reverb. You can, as I always do, you could put a boost in the loop. You could do all sorts of things there, and you could turn that into a monstrous amplifier. Mic it up, probably loud enough to gig with. I've never tried, but I'm going to guess that it's almost definitely loud enough to gig with. I just want to check what the complement of glass is contained within. Yeah, so ECC83s and EL34 valves. So that will be, with my rudimentary knowledge of valve amplification, that will be loud, especially with a microphone. So let's take a look now at my friend and yours, Boss, and the Katana range. I know you're probably bored of me talking about the Katana range. By the way, I'm not being paid by anyone to make this video. Just thought I'd do it. Andertons don't know. I hope Lee's happy with this. If you were looking for a similar kind of vibe in something that didn't have valves, so maybe a little bit more bulletproof, I would say get the 100-watt Katana head. I've got one. They're amazing. And when I say everything is built in, understatement of the century, everything is built in. It's incredible. I mean, even the speaker is built in. You don't need to plug it into a speaker. It's got a little teeny tiny one. All of the effects, you can plug it into a computer and tweak all the settings, which I absolutely recommend that you do, because you'll find some hidden gems. Look at it. That's a cool looking amplifier. I miss mine. I really should get it shipped over. And on top, you'll see it's got the classic brown lead, crunch, clean and acoustic, gain, volume, bass, middle, treble, blah, blah, blah. It's got the effects, it's got the modulations, the boosts, the reverbs. The secret with these is that they've really gone ahead and modeled the way an amplifier reacts. So you've got to crank that one, the master. Give it some master and then dial it from the volume, and you'll be rewarded with a lovely sounding amp. Many a time I have gone ahead and used this and been really happy. So you plug it in there. It's got all sorts of stuff that you can do. You can look this up yourselves, but basically it's got an effects loop. Struggling to see why you'd ever need an effects loop on this. I never find myself thinking, I should really plug in this pedal, because they're all in it. Bit of lines out and, phones, and get the foot switch. The foot switch is great, actually. Wait a minute, where did I go? I swiped in a funny way. Anyway, the Katana, get the head. It's great. And if you've got kids, like I have, it's the little speaker's really quiet and it sounds good. So yeah, that's my recommendation from the Katana range. I was going to say something else, but I think I won't until I have experienced something else from the Katana range. Right, let's go to Orange. As you guys know, I've had a long relationship with Orange. I love Cliff and the guys. So, by the way, when I'm looking at these amps, I'm not thinking in any particular price range. I'm just thinking, well, I am, but I'm not saying it's got to be under this. I'm thinking entry point real amp, like a good amp I would gig with or use in my bedroom. The Dark Terror valve head is really good. The Micro Dark is also good, but you can't gig with it. Hybrid bass is great. Actually sounds pretty good with the guitar through it as well. I am not a tremendous Crush fan. I have to be honest and say that, it's all good, it's fine, but it doesn't sound like an Orange to me. I do love what they're doing, just as an aside. I love what they're doing here, where you look at that and you go, well, that looks like a great amp and it's solid as hell. And in fairness, I haven't tried it. It could be great, but, it's not a valve amp, is it? Then again, neither's the Katana, so what am I talking about? Right, so Dual Terror valve head. It's reduced in price, and they've got some deal on a matching cab. This is a great amp. If you were ever looking for a really good price on an Orange valve head, right now this is probably one of the best you get. $549. Andertons outdoing themselves here on value. It's got everything you need. It's a couple of channels. I believe one of the sides is based on a Rockaverb circuit and the other a traditional Terror. Traditional Terror? I guess you could say that now, because I started using the Terror amps back in, 10 years ago. And it inspired me to design all sorts of things, as you probably all well know by now. Input. Yeah, it's a great amp. Dual Terror. It's a valve head. And by the way, where are we? 30 watts, class 8, loud. Really, really loud. So you can switch it down, you know that as well, but Who wants to switch something down? I don't, you know. Right, so the other alternative is the Dark Terror valve head. So it's the same as the old classic Tiny Terror, but it's the Dark Terror valve head. It's gainier, it's ECC83s, 12AX7s, it's got an effects loop, and that's the one thing that I really always felt was missing from the classic Tiny Terror, and in many ways is why I designed the Victory RD1. 4 stages again, 15 watts Class A. Now I'm telling you, 15 watts Class A, that's a loud amp. Disturbingly so. You will find that loud, and you need to learn how to set them up. I used to do all sorts of cool things. My recommendation for you is drive it on the 15 watt channel with enough gain that the speaker activates, that the low end comes, but put your speaker cabinet facing slightly towards a wall and use the reflections in the room, because you won't have so much of the speaker in your ass. Nobody wants too much speaker in their ass. Right, Fender, I hope you're enjoying this. I'm finding it quite pleasant. If you do enjoy it, could you let me know below, and then maybe we'll go ahead and do guitars next time. I have some things to say about guitars that might shock you. So, Fender amp. Any guesses as to what I'm going to recommend? I mean, I'm looking at some fantastic amplifiers here, but this is not what I'm looking. There it is. I'm going to scroll past it and keep having a little look around. Okay. Oh man, that's such a good deal. That is a great deal. This is what I would get. It's a 15 watt bass breaker head. Now, you might notice a trend here. I'm going for heads. And I grew up playing combos. I always, the first like real amp I got was a PV Delta Blues. I bought it in Toronto from Long & McQuaid. I love Long & McQuaid so much. I have so many fond memories when I lived in Toronto of shopping at Long & McQuaid, and I wish they would sell Chapman guitars. Please, Long & McQuaid, if you're watching this video, I'd love to work with you, please. And I'd fly over post-plague and make you coffee. I make great pizzas too, if you like pizza. So I bought my first amp from Long & McQuaid, and it was a combo, obviously. Second amp I bought I borrowed it from my manager at the time, was a Mesa Boogie Studio Point 2. Man, that was an amp. I used to turn up to gigs, put it on the stage, and it was like below my knee, and people would laugh at me, and then I'd crank it, and then they wouldn't laugh anymore. It was great. That was, for my money, one of the best Boogie amps. So cool. Love me some Boogie. So 12AX7s and a preamp, EL84, 15 watts. What I'm really looking for is this. Yeah, so why heads? Sorry, I digressed wildly. With a head, you have flexibility. If you are a touring musician, so much easier to transport a head. You don't need to bother about cabs, because the venues always have cabs. If they don't play there. Get them to use one, borrow a band member's cab. Combos, there's so much more to kind of go wrong. I always feel like in the 80s they had it right with Rat Gear, because they split everything up. So if there was a problem, it's generally isolated. Whereas with the combo, with everything built in, you got a problem, the whole thing's down, you got to fix it. So I like splitting things up from a safety practicality point of view. Much lighter than carrying a combo, especially if you get into things like matchless and, you know, proper big boy combos where you need to use leverage and a big muscular drumming friend. Anyway, so look, at the back of this, it's got an extension speaker. It's always handy. It's got an effects loop, and you'll see that I'm only ever going for as much as possible heads that have an effects loop. So vital that you have an effects loop, because you can whack a boost in there, get yourself another channel. Practicality, you can blend all sorts of things through it, and it makes it good. Anyway, so there's also a combo version. I'm sure it's amazing, but I'd go for the head every time. So that's Fender. That's my recommendation for Fender. By the way, I had done a little bit of thinking about these before, but not too much. Now, for a good friend of mine, who I know is a massive fan of Blackstar, I'm going to be looking at Blackstar amps now. After a myriad of random searches, I found Andertons' search for Blackstar quite confusing. It's probably my fault. I'm sorry, Lee. It's probably me. I haven't had enough coffee. I just put in the search for what I was looking for, which is the HT range. So, Blackstar HT Club 50 Mark II guitar amp head, 599. That's a lot of head for 599. Sounds really good. There's also a 100 watt version for £649. It's 50 quid, £49 more for 50 watts more. It's literally £1 a watt more. And you might think, what's the point? Well, if you're into clean headroom, that's probably a good idea. If you're not into clean headroom, don't bother. Jared James Nickel, that looks really good. Jared's a great player. And then there's the Blackstar HT20 RHMK2 guitar amp head, 529. Let's have a look at that. So, this is a valve head with a reverb. It looks really good. 20 watts, got masters, got reverb, overdrive, equalization, and overdrive, and clean, and an input. And I played it, and it sounds boss. On the back, you will see that it has an effects loop foot switch. You can reduce the decibel voltage. It's got an emulated output, which is kind of all right, actually. In fact, I probably told this story a million times over, but when we were recording Dorjay's Catalyst EP, we used the emulated output of a Blackstar HT20 alongside everything else we did for the guitar tracks. You can plug it into everything you need to. It's a great amp, and look at it. It's $529. All finance available from $14.65 per month. Buy it if you've got the money. Don't buy it if you don't have the money. That's my advice to you there. It's a great amp. I played it. I really like it. Let's take a look at the valves. So, as with many things from the U of K, it's ECC 83s and EL 84s. It's going to be loud, and I think you'll really enjoy that. However, I have to tell you that the best amplifier head you can buy at Andertons right now, and I am monumentally biased, is this. Now, yes, it's a little bit more expensive. Yes, it's my signature amplifier. You can get a black version, which is exactly the same. Oh no. Nature itself just tried to deny me from explaining how good this is. Yes, you can get a black version. Doesn't have my name on it, but it's exactly the same amplifier. Martin Kidd and I took our time to build this beast, and I haven't spoken up much about it over the last couple of years because I've been busy using it on everything I have ever recorded, ever. It is such a beautiful sounding amp. It's made in England by hand. It's loud enough that you can gig with it. It has, 5 controls that will give you a myriad of tonal combinations. I wanted to call it the Red Dwarf, but we weren't allowed, so we called it the RD1. You can plug it into speakers. It has an effects loop. Oh, what am I doing? Yes, it has an effects loop. High and low. You want to put it on the high setting, and you'll be rewarded with any kind of tone you want, unless it's crystal clean and loud. It doesn't do a crystal clean because I don't use a crystal clean tone. So high, put the power on, whack up the master. Everyone I have ever invited to my studio to try it has all gone, oh, I didn't know I did that. And that made me proud and excited. And it's a fantastic amp. It's probably one of the things in my life that I am the most proud of being involved with, and we're going to stop making them. It's just time to have a little break from that. If you find one, you're a lucky person, and I I think you'll really enjoy your experience with the Victory Amps RD1. And before all the conspiratorial people jump in the lower section and say, oh, Victory and Chappers fell out, but nah, it's nothing to do with that. It's just, it's that I own a couple of companies, and one of them may go in a direction that would conflict with that. That's all I'm going to say. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this. Yeah, there were loads of other amps we could have looked at. We probably should look at one more. Where are we? One more, and then we go, okay? Because I need to get myself a delicious salad. This is the amp that I currently would love to own, but I don't, and it hurts me inside. The Badlander. First of all, what an amazing name for an amp. I mean, I would buy that amp purely based on the name. Yes, it's £2,000, and it's, you know, but I mean, look at it. Look at that amp. And the demo was great. I think the entire guitar community went, wow, this guy can really play, and wow, what an amazing amp. Look at that. Badlander. Everything and more you would ever need in an amplifier. And it looks and sounds amazing. And no, it's not within my current budgetary area. Boogie, if you're watching and you're taking pity on your boy, then, you know, let's talk. I could demo one for you in Malta. That would be good. Anyway, that's it. Have an amazing day. Thank you for watching. I can move to the middle now because I think the amps would have gone. And I hope you've enjoyed the doorsiness of the Maltese beautiful foresty park areas. Enjoy outdoors as much as you possibly can. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing, pressing the bell, commenting below, all those kinds of things. Take it easy. See you soon. Chappers out.